Hello everyone, welcome to the series of collection, and in today's lesson we are going to learn a very interesting concept, the concept of array list. How this array list has been formed, how do we create an array list, everything we are going to learn over here. Well, we all know that when it comes to the concept of array list, that has been actually evolved from the array itself, right? Or we can say that the structure behind the underlying structure behind the array list is itself an array. So in short, when we are working with the array list, we are actually working with the array with some advanced things, we can say. So what we are going to do now, I'll tell you. Apart from this, we all know that in array list, when we are storing the elements or when we are working with the elements, all of the elements present in the array list are objects, correct? So now it simply means that if we are working with the objects, we are working with an object array. So for now, what we are going to do, we are going to take an array over here. Say of how many elements, that is completely on your choice. I'll take 5 elements for now. That means 0 to 4 is the index of the array list, and I have just created the array only, okay? No elements I have taken off over here. I have just taken some of the array, just taken the list, that's it. Now because it is an object array, okay, so this is an object array, okay, and the indexes have also been given. Now what do we need to do? Number one, we need to add the objects into this array list, correct? So I will name this array list as A. These are the indexes, and afterwards I have to add the elements, correct? So how am I going to add the elements? Well, all the objects are of all the elements are of type object, so I will just take T as the data, okay, data type, that is, you can say integer data. For now I'll be taking it as the object, okay? So T is what? T is the data simply. Now what am I going to do? Whenever I will just call a method, say I will call the add method, I will simply add an element to this array, okay? Now the most important conditions are the elements will get added into this array list only if the length of the index is less than the array length. Simple. Say for example, if I'm maintaining the index, I'm saying add an element. If I have added an element at index 0, 1, 2, 3, so I have to maintain the indexes, right? So it will only be possible to add an element into the array list till it is less than the length. If the length is full of the array, well, let me just show you first. If I'm calling the add method, I'm saying to add 10. This 10 will add to where? Over here onto the index, right? We will simply say add the element. Say I have taken the variable index and I'm storing the element data into this array. In the initial stage, the value of index will be 0. Now the data has been stored into the array of 0, right? Now the value of index has been turned on to 1. Now for the second time, if I am calling the same method, I am asking it to add 20. So it will add 20 at what position? A of 1, correct? So the element will get added over here. Again the value of index will get increased and it will become 2. So next time if I'm asking for 50, it will get stored over here. If I'm asking for 70, it will store here. If I'm asking for 80, it will get stored here. Now if I'm asking for 90, it will not get stored over here in this array because the elements are filled up, right? Now what we are going to do now? For this, the technical thing for array list is when the array list is completely full, what we have to do, a new array list is being created. How we are going to create a new array list? I'll tell you. So according to, as I told you, in the array list, a new array list is created with the length of the array list into 1.75. That's the rule, so we can't change that rule. So a new array list will get created, say 4 into 1.75, sorry 5 into 1.75. That array list will get created. The elements of this array will get copied into the new array list. So 5 into 1.75 is around 8. So let us assume that the new array will get created of the size 8. Let us assume, okay. 4, I'll delete it. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Assume 9. Assume, we are just assuming it, okay. So now what will happen, one by one each of the elements present in this array will get copied into this array. So you know how to copy an array elements into the another array, okay. Simply that will take place. Then the new element which you have asked for, say we have asked for 90, will get stored into this. How? Now this array, we will name this array A. Okay, we will simply assign this array to this. The name will get shifted. If it is B array, we will say that assign the name of the A to B arrays. Now this array will become the A array, and now we have, as we have more space into it, we can again add more elements to it. This is the logic behind the array list concept, the add method. And this concept of growing the array, that is from one array list to the another array list, is called as the growing nature of the array list. Okay, so we will create a new method for this as well. Hope you guys understand the concept. Let us now move on to the coding section. So firstly, what I will do, okay, this is my class, right? So firstly, I will create a class named as my array list, okay, and this array list is accepting T type of data. That T type of data can be anything, okay. So for now I'm just working on that. So firstly, I'll be taking a variable index, as you know why. Now I'll be taking an object array and I will be naming it as A, creating new object of size 5. So initially I have taken it as 5. Done. Now I will be creating a method called as my add method, providing it what type of data, T type of data we will be providing it. Now what we are going to do in this my add method, we'll simply write the concept if index is less than a dot length, then only proceed further and add the data into a of index, okay, and increment the index value, right? And if it is not less than the length, then we will do what? If say the index is greater than the array dot length, then we will do what? We will simply call the method grow method. We will create it right now, don't worry about that. And after the grow method has been called, the size of the array will get increased, and we will then ask it to put the element into this, right? Now we have to call up the grow method. So first let us create the grow method. This is my grow method, and I will do what? In the grow method itself, I have to create again an object array. Say B is equal to new object. What is the size? Size will be a dot length into 1.75. See, this is in floating point value, na? So I will just typecast into the integer value, right? So this is, I have created the object. If you want to just print out the size, we can do that. So for now we just have to shift the elements from the A array into the B array. So for that, in short, we have to copy them, right? So I will tell that iterate the A array, and afterwards do what? Assign all the elements of A array into B array, right? That is it. And then assign the elements of in short, name it as A array. That is it. So these were the two functions which were very important to us. Now, to print them, we need another method that is called as the toString method, because when you are printing the objects, you need a toString method. So I will just write over here public toString method I am calling. Now, how to print the objects? Take a string over here, say string s is equal to, initially just put it the square bracket, because if you have noticed, whenever we try to print the objects, it is always present into the square brackets, right? I will take the for loop over here to iterate it through the array, and I will just try to find out, like, the index value will be the lastmost value where the elements are stored. It will just tell me how many elements are present in my array, right? Now I will write if I is less than index minus 1, that is lesser than the index value, to get the last value of the array, I will say concatenate each and every element of array of I into it plus with the comma and put some space in it, right? And for the last part, concatenate only the element, not the comma, right? That's it, right? And after the iteration goes around, after the loop gets finished up, we will simply ask it to concatenate the closing bracket. I'm hoping it all will work. Let us see. And finally, we will return the value of s. Done? So now, in the my class, we will create the main method, and in the main method, I will create the object of my array list. My array list, I have to tell it that it is of the type integer, right? And L is the name of the list. New my array list. So now in this list, I am going to add L dot my add. I'm going to add some of the L dot my add 20. I'll simply add some of the values, and these values are of type integer, right? 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, right? Now I have to print them, correct? I will simply print it out. Oh, very nice. So if you can see, all the elements have been printed up over here, right? Because we have called up the print this toString method, therefore they have been. Now how many elements we have called up? We have called up 6 elements. It means we have already done with the, I will simply print here b dot length, okay, plus I want to find it out what was the length. Don't worry about that. So we will just print it out for your knowledge. See, as I told you, that was something 8 point something, round off of 8 elements, right? So because the point floating value will not be involved, so it will just include the 8. Initially it was 5. Hope you guys understand the concept. Thank you very much.